Oh, hi. I just wanted to say hello. And I'm trying to get to the USCPR conference in Houston. That's in October. So I'm doing a little fundraiser. The goal is around $400. So they're helping to pay for some of my expenses. And the rest, I hope I can get some help from the community. Thank you, friends and family, comrades and colleagues. And I look forward to doing my zine workshop in Texas. So, art, activism, artivism. I used to be an artist, wannabe, playing music around in the big cities, New York City, LA, and their undergrounds, creating decolonization musicals to put on in the theaters and festivals in the same usual suspects: New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles. But in 2013, I had to tilt away, far away. I knew, though, that this was the better move to make, as I felt the glow of my grandmother's smile upon me. Through all the changes that were yet to come. I always was a grandma's boy, and by 2014, even though my grandmother had passed away, from there on out, I would finally double down on her legacy of care work and love.
Hi.
Well,
What's
hello.
up? I don't know the maximum that we can have in one life, so we're gonna find out. And
I have the theory that it's 4, so we'll see if that's
I,
correct.
I think you're right. If we need to take turns, if
I'm
if it's
I'm
a
willing to jump off and jump back on or
yeah,
It
me
looks
make
like it's
room for
too.
four.
anyone.
I think it's four.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, but I tried to invite her and I can't.
Right, but I think she's in the room and listening to us say this.
Oh, hey Ellie, I see her comment now. Hello.
Hi.
Hey y'all.
Hi, so good
Thanks
to
for
meet
joining.
you.
So good to
Uh,
meet you.
we also have Ellie, our co-host, in the chat. It'll only let us have 4 people at a time, so
Ah,
we'll probably take some turns. Hey
cool.
Ellie, hello everyone. Well, first off, yeah, so I'm Alia, one of the co-hosts of the podcast.
I'm
Yeah.
Ash. Hi Aram.
Hi, I'm Aram, a super fan of the Queer Herbs podcast show, and a fan of Ash, and a fan of all
Oh,
of this.
I'm a fan of all of this too. Yeah, I'm
We're,
excited.
we're fans in here.
Overall fan club.
In 2022, Jewish Voice for Peace, JVP, and Queens, New York politician Zohran Mamdani teamed up on a statewide campaign, Not on Our Dime. It would go on to be an example for other communities far and wide to do the same thing. My colleagues and I began putting together a magazine, an artivist scene, to encapsulate some of all this which we were working on. I co-planned gatherings with JVP of conversing, planning, and hanging out together. I made some flyers to spread the word, and we met at various spots around town. great.
Heck yeah.
Hi,
Red Nation!
I'm Jonah from the Urban Theories Podcast.
And I'm Aram from Artivist Magazine. And my Palestinian roots make me love every time you guys talk about Palestine.
And we look forward to all of your content in 2023. Bye.
To further amplify the queer and Palestine and land back mixing of artivisms, some of us artivists from Palexico and a few other colleagues began putting together some gatherings through another of our beloved organizations, Tarab NYC. I got to co-plan some good stuff: queer Ramadan iftars, game nights, brunches, anything to build out our big movement ideas and actions. Back in Astoria, while planning workers' rights and tenants' rights gatherings with the amazing Astorians in the Little Egypt neighborhood at the food pantry, we got an offering, a bit of Tarab community funds, for an offshoot of the artivist scene, and began work on the first Tarab NYC zine of our own, featuring paid submissions in all forms from our overlapping community members. We made a digital version and put it up online, and printed a bunch of paper ones to hand out in the upcoming spring and summer festivities. My colleague, Kage the photographer, who hosts walk-and shoots for bunches of artivists to get together around NYC scenic spots and cross-promote each other's things of the moment, held another walk-and shoot down in Chelsea on the Hudson, and we took the Tarab NYC zine for a spin. And it was there that Kage started putting the pieces together for his Fashion Week event for the following season, where we all could cross-promote queerness and Palestine and land back and reparations. So we draped another layer of fabric onto our rack just for this.
Hi, I'm global phenomenon and supermodel Bella Hadid, and I'm here to tell you about the hottest, new, and ancient solution to all your problems.
Tonight, make it really loud for Bella Hadid!
In the meantime, I'm Bella Hadid. I don't know if you've heard of me. Also, I do help with Baby P. I don't know if you've heard of Baby P. And we have some information in the back if you want to come and hang out. We have some zines also.
We then planned, with a few others in our Palexico collective, to make appearances on as many channels and in as many places as possible to spread the word of our overlapping causes of the moment. At Kage's Fashion Week event at Grace Exhibition Space in the Lower East Side, we cross-promoted Zara Jamshed's newest book, Neither Created Nor Destroyed, among other things. At the LGBTQ Center's Queer Ramadan Gala in the West Village, after I blabbed on as Bella tends to do, a couple of colleagues and I got even more connected with our comrades at Masjid. And another offshoot zine was born. This one shared stories and creations from our community on medicine and origins of plants and herbs. And continuing the queer, Muslim, and Swana midwifing histories, we began with Ash at the Queer Arabs podcast. Best bookstore ever, Blue Stockings, picked us up for their comics and zine fest, so we pumped out our creations at their store online and in the Lower East Side. Back at the Irish Arts Center, Kage and our walk-and-shoot colleagues held a meetup where we could present how all our overlapping causes are linked. We reviewed the ever-expanding zine scene and revisited with the Red Nation's book on queerness, Palestine, land back, and reparations, The Red Deal. And we got another wave of community artivists and allies and Irish Arts Center patrons and coordinators to endorse the movement by supporting the local Manhattan Fund land tax. For any and all New York City folks who know it's time not only for land acknowledgement, it's time for, as they say at Sigorte, land repatriation. We took the zines and East Side book crawl and bounced around from spot to spot, happy to hand out free zines and knowledge to New Yorkers on any corner we found ourselves on the border of Chinatown and LES. We met up with some comrades coming back from a No Tech for Apartheid action at Google in the Meatpacking District, and had a sequel pop-up walk and shoot just off Canal Street. Artivism education on the go. The Piece de Resistance zine was spotlighting an upcoming campaign JVP and Al-Haq had put together, building on the momentum from Not on Our Dime called We Don't Buy It. I was revisiting an interview I did with Mecca founder Barbara Lubin for another podcast, and we were figuring out even more ways for cross-promotion between Mecca and Adela Justice Project and JVP and Red Hawk Arts Council and the Astoria Food Pantry and others. And the zine version of this new big campaign was inevitable and unavoidable. With it was an exciting way to plan the spreading of the We Don't Buy It message in the coming months at summer and fall events like NYC Pride, the Queer Liberation March, FlameCon, and the 2023 USCPR Convention. Then, October 7th happened. The Houston Hilton pulled the plug. And we all rerouted and put everything into the fight for a permanent ceasefire. Shutting down Grand Central Station and the Williamsburg Bridge and doing fundraisers and all the things. And to load the internet with even more, some Palexico comrades and Kage and Quinn, we put together a music video called Save Gaza, a version of Ariana Grande's Yes and, with lyrics to fortify the many movement newcomers in the fall and winter of 2023. And we got a big embrace from our comrades at Descolonizarte Teatro.
Felicitaciones, parabéns, felicitaciones.
Y ahora presentamos un video de una organización México-Palestina en los Estados Unidos, Paléxico.
Paléxico comparte el objetivo del Land Back o Movimiento de Recuperación de Tierras, la descolonización y el antiimperialismo. Trabajan como activistas para invitar a muchas otras personas a unirse a estos movimientos a través de su arte y de reuniones comunitarias.
Hoy nos traen el importante video Save Gaza o Salven a Gaza, una pieza de video musical que opera como un anuncio de fortaleza de la comunidad.
Y nos dicen: hicimos este video utilizando elementos de la música pop para transmitir nuestro mensaje, salven a Gaza. En estos muchos meses transcurridos desde el otoño pasado, hemos tenido cada vez más compañeros y compañeras que se han unido a nuestra lucha. No hemos detenido el genocidio, pero nuestros números están creciendo y persistimos y resistiremos. Ahora nuestras comunidades superpuestas ven cómo nuestras luchas superpuestas pueden liberarse casi al mismo tiempo desde nuestros teléfonos inteligentes, en línea y en las calles.
Vamos entonces con Salven a Gaza de Paléxico.
We just kept up the cross-promotion, tying all the pieces together, all the strengths of the many artivists from the many groups who are doing all this hard work. Most of the time with most people doing unpaid volunteer community organizing. All around queer and Palestine and land back and reparations and rematriation.
Muy bien. Gracias a Paléxico por usar su arte para oponer a la colonización y al imperialismo.
Nos unimos a su llamado de paz, de cese al fuego y de cese a la ocupación y al genocidio que ha destruido tantas vidas de manera tan horripilante e irracional. Gracias por ser tan creativos en oponerse de esta manera.
Levantamos nuestras voces para denunciar todas las guerras y el genocidio en el mundo y por una Palestina libre.
And the zines live on. Teaming up with our comrades at QPen and Topos Bookstore, the artivism waves are splashing onward. We continue to amplify our overlapping community voices for all things queer and Palestine and land back and reparations and repatriation. We've been attending as many book and zine fairs, comic cons, and other conventions and conferences in person, virtually, online, and hybrid ones too. And the decolonizing zines have taken on a life of their own. We're lucky to get contributions for the zines to our virtual and in-person tip jars. We have lists and a registry of artivists, allies, businesses, and orgs ready to begin or already begun paying their land tax dues in California and New York, and it keeps growing. And so, our people power of reparations and repatriation continues. Make sure you get to know the feeling I'm always dreaming of. You need some